welcome to Study Up. In this video, we are going to discuss Dynamic Groundwater Resource Assessment Report 2022, which was recently released via Jal Shakti Mantralaya. This report is very important for UPSC prelims exam as a question was already asked in 2020 UPSC prelims. So let's start with this report. Recently, the Union Minister of Jal Shakti released the Dynamic Groundwater Resource Assessment Report for the entire country for the year 2022. Now, if we talk about the important points of this report, the total annual groundwater recharge is 437.60 billion cubic meters and the annual groundwater extraction is 239.16 billion cubic meter. This means that the groundwater level has increased because the extraction in the recent years was less than what was recharged. Now, if we talk about the groundwater recharge, then it is a hydrologic process where the water from the surface of the earth seeps downward and gets collected in aquifers. So the process is also known as deep drainage or deep percolation. As you can see in the diagram, the surface water either can go up by the process of transpiration and evaporation, which is also known as evapotranspiration, or a runoff from the surface, or seeps downwards, which is known as groundwater recharge. The 2022 assessment suggests that groundwater extraction is the lowest since 2004 when it was 231 billion cubic meters. Now, if we talk about the use of groundwater extracted, then 87% of the total annual groundwater extraction, that is 208.49 billion cubic meter, is for irrigational use. The remaining 30.69 billion cubic meter is for domestic and industrial use, which is about 13% of the total extraction. Now, if we talk about the status of groundwater extraction in various states, then it is very high in the state of Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan, Dadar and Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu, where it is more than 100%. That means they are extracting more waters than what they are recharging. While in states like Delhi, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, UTs of Chandigarh, Lakshadweep, and Puducherry, the stage of groundwater extraction is between 60 to 100%. Now, if we talk about the classification of the states according to what the groundwater they are extracting, then if they are extracting more than 100%, then this is overexploited, and if they are extracting 90 to 100%, then they will come into the critical category, and if it is between 70 to 90%, then they will come into the semi-critical category. In the rest of the states, the stage of groundwater extraction is below 60%, including Madhya Pradesh. Now, if we talk about the status of groundwater in India, India is the largest user of groundwater with a fourth of the total global withdrawal. Indian cities cater to about 48% of its water supply from groundwater, rest from the surface water bodies like rivers, dams, ponds, lakes, etc. Challenges with the management of groundwater in India, like first one is the unregulated extraction, like there is no control over the extraction of the underground water. So groundwater, which is regarded as a common pool resource, has historically witnessed little control over its extraction. Second one is excessive irrigation. As you all know, there was green revolution in 1970s. So this was popularized in the 1970s due to green revolution, which lead to socio-economic well-being, increased productivity and better livelihoods. And the third one is poor knowledge of groundwater management systems. The next challenge is groundwater pollution. Water quality data obtained by the Central Groundwater Board shows that groundwater in as many as 154 districts of India across 21 states has arsenic contamination. Next challenge in underground water extraction is climate change. In recent times, we have seen disturbance in the hydrological cycle causing long spells of floods and droughts adversely affect the quality and quantity of groundwater. So, to counter the increased rate of groundwater extraction, there are some initiatives taken by the Indian government to increase groundwater recharge. The first one is Atal Bhujal Yojana. It is a rupees 6,000 crore central sector scheme with World Bank assistance for sustainable management of groundwater resource with community participation. The second initiative that was taken by the Indian government is Jal Shakti Abhiyan. It was launched in 2019 to improve water availability, including groundwater conditions in these areas. It has a special emphasis on creation of recharge structures, rejuvenation of traditional water bodies, and intensive afforestation, etc. Now, in the very beginning of this video, I already told you guys that in 2020 UPSC prelims, a question was already asked. So the question was, consider the following statements. The first statement was 36% of India's districts are classified as overexploited or critical by the Central Groundwater Authority. The second statement was Central Groundwater Authority was formed under the Environment Protection Act. The third one is India has the largest area under groundwater irrigation in the world. So the first statement is incorrect. The second statement is correct as CGWA was formed under the Environment Protection Act. The third point is also correct as we have seen in this video that India has the largest area under groundwater irrigation in the world. So out of the given options, the first option is 1 only, second option is 2 and 3 only, third option is 2 only, and the fourth option is 1 and 3 only. So B is the correct answer. Here is the explanation of that question. As per the report National Compilation on Dynamic Groundwater Resources of India 2017, only 17% have been categorized as overexploited, while as per National Compilation on Dynamic Groundwater Resources of India 2020, out of the total 6965 assessment units in the country, 16% have been categorized as overexploited, 4% as critical, 15% as semi-critical, and 64% as safe. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. The Central Groundwater Authority was constituted under Section 3, Subclause 3 of the Environment Protection Act 1986 to regulate, control, development, and management of groundwater resources. Hence, statement 2 is correct. As per reports of Food and Agriculture Organization of United Nations, the countries with the largest extent of areas equipped for irrigation with groundwater in absolute terms are India with 39 million hectare, that means 67% of its total irrigation, China 19 million hectare, and the USA with only 17 million hectare. Hence statement 3 is also correct. Therefore option B is the correct answer. Now here are some important points about Central Groundwater Board. Central Groundwater Board was established in 1970 by renaming the Exploratory Tube Wells Organization. It is a subordinate office of the Ministry of Water Resources, Government of India, and it is the national apex agency, means the highest agency that entrusted with the responsibility of providing scientific inputs for the management of groundwater exploration, monitoring, assessment, augmentation, and regulation of groundwater resources of the country. Central Groundwater Board is under the Ministry of Jal Shakti, Department of Water Resources, River Development, and Ganga Rejuvenation. Now, let's discuss one more question which is drafted on the basis of this report. The question is, arrange the following states according to their annual rainfall in millimeters in increasing order as per Dynamic Groundwater Resource Assessment Report 2022. The options are Meghalaya, Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, Goa, and Sikkim. So D is the correct answer, as according to this report, Meghalaya has 5649 millimeter annual rainfall, while Manipur has 1196 millimeter. Arunachal Pradesh has 2992 millimeter, Goa has 4406 millimeter, and Sikkim has 3350 millimeter annual rainfall. Now, if we talk about the least rainfall according to this report, then it is with Ladakh 24.2 mm, Rajasthan 511 mm only, Haryana 533 mm, and Punjab with the annual rainfall of 585 millimeter. So let's end this video and important topic with the beautiful quote, that is, the true meaning of life is to plant trees under whose shade you do not expect to sit. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe for more videos.